What's going on, family? Black Feniks checking in. My bad. I didn't know I hit the button. I was actually had to come outside for a second. And then you know how you look. And I was looking for my truck. So it was early. And I'm like, where's my truck at? And I realized that my wife actually took my truck this morning because my little sister, she came last night. And so my wife couldn't get out the driveway. So she had to take my truck. But that's what I was sitting here thinking. Anyways, man, I titled this video "The Welding Chameleon," and I said that title because I thought about all the stuff I have done up to this point, with welding and fabrication and installing ironwork and millwrighting. I have had a chance to touch many different fields from fabrication, you know, doing stainless aluminum work, straight steel work, doing some fine alloy work, you know, never been on a assembly line, but I have done, product, fabrication and welding. And I really consider myself being the welding chameleon because I had a chance up to this point to learn welding from different aspects and from different countries. I mean, not countries, but different states and cities. And the information that I like to give, a lot of times, some people probably are frowned upon it because I'm going to cut out the middleman and I'm going to give you the direct truth. And a lot of things that we think sometimes that we have to do as welders, we have to do, black, white, we don't care what color you are. A lot of time the system will feed you some BS, family, and tell you have to do it a certain way. And you don't. I know a lot of welders that pushed away from welding because they thought they had to get a GED. You don't. It all depends on, see, there's many different aspects in welding, different parts of welding, just like the body, I would say. You got different parts. As the scriptures would say, the toe can't tell the eye, I don't need you. You know what I mean? Cut yourself off. I don't need you. Now you limp in a certain way. Every part of the body is needed. So once you learn and have been all over the body, so to speak, of welding, you understand that there's a need in different things. Being in my hometown, I think everywhere you go, you have to learn the place again. And I haven't been here, family, since, 27 years. And there's welding to do here, and there's welding being done here. But I have to offer something completely different for me to stand out and for me to network with my people, like doing the independent welding classes and also building products. I haven't built nothing but one small product since I've been here, which I actually made a propane tank grill, and I sold that to a gentleman in Warren named Poke Chop. Shout out to Poke Chop in Warren. He have an appliance store over there in Warren. So for those who in Arkansas looking for some good appliances, he got some good appliances, and he deliver, within, an hour or so radius. So, say, man, learning how to weld have opened up many doors because I had built things out of scrap metal and made a product. I had built things out of metal that someone would have threw away, and I had made an item where I was able to pay a bill. You know, I had made an item where someone might work for a week, 40 hours, a plus to get money, and then I built this and I sold it and I made that in that time. And not saying that this is all the time, but that's the key though. It's all based on the hustle. It's all based on what you're willing to do, willing to network yourself, willing to really get out and say, hey, there's no limitations to what I can do once I learn the skill, once I learn the trade. So that's why I say I'm a chameleon, because literally, family, I had pipe weld. I've been around that. I've been around the ironwork and welding. I've been around the millwright welding. I've been around the welding and fabrication, just shop welding. I've been around just welding with pairs. I've been around residential welding, where you're fixing on residential gates and fence and doing different stuff where you got to be neat and it got to be nice. And then they look at, I've been around the condos and $100,000 and $1 million homes. You know what I mean? So I have got a chance to touch a few different things. So that's why I call myself a chameleonaire, because I've really had to come to different cities and blend in. And even though I am a black welder, and a lot of times, family, I stand out like a sore thumb. You know what I'm saying? A black welder with gold teeth and a long beard. You know what I mean? People don't know what to think of me at first until we hold a conversation and we get to talking, and then they're like, oh, okay. Then they can see it. But I kept my culture because I want to be able to encourage the youth coming from where I'm from to see someone like them make it, without switching it up and just giving them the opportunity to say, hey, everybody ain't meant to go to a certain level. Everybody ain't meant to go to college or meant to be a college professor, but that don't mean you can't be a millionaire. That don't mean you can't be comfortable. That doesn't mean you can't travel. You know what I mean? So my goal is to show. That's why I come to YouTube and just show live videos and on my Instagram and TikTok. Is to give the awareness. You know what I mean? And I'm working on the structure because I want to, I've been saying I was going to work on the podcast, and I came down here and spent a lot of my money towards one thing and another. And you know what? That's part of business too. That's just part of life, because when you are building things, sometimes you might think, oh, this is not going to take nothing but 20,000. Then you get in and you're like, dang, it's 50,000. You know what I mean? So, sometimes that's why I always say do your homework. And and a lot of times I speak from my own standpoint because I like to lead by example. So the best person I could talk about is talk about myself, my flaws and things I learned that helped me get better, my strengths. But I have most definitely learned that welding can be used as a great tool that can actually help us gain some generational wealth. It can help us gain some financial literacy. It can help us gain some independence. Like, there's a lot of things that welding can do for us. And I think that until we humble ourselves and really say, hey man, what can I do to better my situation? Because some people will be in situations where they want to make better money, but they're just doing service stuff. So you have to learn something new. And welding is a tool, family. I'm just going to be honest with you. Like, welding is that tool that you can manufacture, you can, product, you can service, you can repair, you can, there's so many things you can do. You can be an art. You got people that just strictly building art. It's so much you can do. So I think I just would have to say, man, don't limit yourself. You know what I mean? That's why I say I'm a chameleon, because I had to have a chance to actually touch different fields. And I have enjoyed it, family. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, it has been nice up to this point. And even though I feel like right now I'm like reinventing myself since I've been in my hometown, because I want to offer independent welding courses. I want to offer some fabrication. I want to offer some of my services, but I have to change them up because, it is what it is. You go from 4,000 people, 4 million people to 4,000 people, or 5,000 people, So there's a big difference, So, you're always having to regroup when you're independent, but I'm okay with it, coming down here, working on my mom's house, getting the renovation started, getting everything up in line. It has been humbling, but it has been worth it, family. You know what I mean? Most definitely been worth it. I feel like if I wouldn't have came here and spent my time, my mom gave her life to raise me, to do the best she could, and to help me. So I didn't know what I was getting into. But when I came down here and I had a couple people walk through the house with me, and even though it looked bad, and that's what they said, man, it looked bad. It's going to take some work, but it's still alive though. And I know my mom never gave up on me, so I couldn't give up on her. So I used my welding skills in this house, because I want to say, I said something one time about being a welder, you can cross over. See, the only difference to me being a good welder fabricator and being a carpenter is some terms you use and the tools you use. You know what I mean? So if you know how to take measurements, a foot is a foot, 16 is a 16, a square is a square, plumb is plumb. You know what I mean? Level is level. So once you understand that concept, you're like, okay, let me get some carpentry tools. Let me build this like this. I had an idea. I built this. I never did it before, literally. I've seen some. I was like, man, I want one of them added to the house, because my mom just had the carport like this one. She just had the carport. So I wanted the car garage. Everybody over here just got carports. Nobody got an enclosed, car garage. And I wanted it so I can be able to teach independent classes starting out because I know I was going to be putting money into the house. And then I wanted to be able to, my wife, she wanted a car garage. She was like, well, if I got to come to the country, my wife originally from California. So she's like, if I got to come to the country, I at least got to have a car garage. She always wanted one. So I was like, hey, that's cool. I can build one. And she was like, you can build me one. That's one thing I love to say because my wife, she always say and tell people, sometimes she put me in situations. She was like, oh, what you got going? Oh, my husband can do that. He can make that. I'm like, man, why are you always throwing me in throwing me in somebody's business? She's like, oh, well, I know you can build it. They gonna pay you for it. You know what I mean? But it just encouraging to know that once you're a welder and fabricator, you can literally make things. You can help solve problems. You know what I mean? So that's what I did with this. I used my welding skills and turned them into some carpentry skills and started doing some renovations and doing some installing on the house. And all of these things came from welding, like plumbing the gates. Put my gates in my posts. I made them and got them installed. I got my posts in the backyard. All of that was learned from welding, fabrication, square plumb. When I put the siding on and I built this, everything is done from learning the concept. That's why I like to say it's more than welding. And some people think like, oh man, I just want to weld. I love to see them welders that get fresh out of school and they just want to burn a bead, run a bead. And there's nothing wrong with just burning that money. And then you're going to get to a point where you're going to be like, man, I need to do something else. You'll realize that welding can be the last process that you do. You can get it prepared, tack it, square, build it up, and then everything is built in square and you make sure it's good. And you say, all right, weld it off. Then you start burning. You know what I mean? But there's a process first. So I like to say I'm a chameleon family because, like I say, not only have I been in different fields, now I can teach it. Now I can give you some practical knowledge of it, and I can show you what you can and can't do. And a lot of people, I had people telling me when I first started, man, you can't do your own AWS search once you pay for you. I said, why not if you a business? Yes, you can, family. It's a lot of things you can do that people say, well, you got to go get somebody to sign off. Who got to sign off on you if you the business? Who sign off on these big companies? They do. They the company. So you got to realize how powerful it is to have an LLC. So proprietary is good. I'm not knocking it. You getting into it. But having an LLC, even if it's a single LLC or a couple members, that's what you want because that can open up your doors with your business. There's so much you can do. So don't listen to what the naysayers and those who don't know. You got people that's professors. Come on now, teaching you about business, teaching you about this and that, and they ain't even doing it. You telling me you just working, but you got all this good, great knowledge, and you just working, punching the clock. Okay, don't get caught up in that. See, that's why I come and give a different aspect of things, and some people don't like it because how I speak about racism. I experience it. I'm a black African American. I'm a black native, and being on these different job sites, being a black welder, I have been the only black welder a lot of time, majority of the time. You know what I mean? 90% of the time. I can even be bold and say 95% because there's been very few times. I have been on a job site where it was more than one welder. That was black anyway. When I was in Atlanta. I helped a guy get a part-time job to learn it and add to his portfolio, and me and him was getting it, but I wasn't around a lot of them, even though it was a lot of in Atlanta, but I was in Columbus at the time. But I never been around a lot of us really in the field that know what we're doing. A lot of times they think we don't, especially when it comes to ironworking and millwrighting and stuff. They think you don't have a clue. So, experiencing racism, it's a part of it, family, That's a part of it. You're gonna get it, you know what I mean? So, and I think that comes from everybody. Salute, good rising. And I think that can come from everybody because people can be prejudiced, and there's a difference between being prejudiced and being racist, you know what I mean? I know people that's racist and I know people that's prejudiced, you know what I mean? So there's a big difference, but most definitely, man, I just wanted to say that I feel I am the chameleon of welding because the different fields I've been in, from doing the container fabrication, in which that's what I really enjoy, and I actually hope that I can actually open up a bigger door with that here soon. Salute, salute, man, from Kenya. Okay, okay, okay. Hopefully, I get a chance to come to Africa one day. That's a big goal of mine, to come and teach some welding and put up some shipping container businesses and homes. I would most definitely love to do that. You know what I mean? But like I say, as of now, like I say, I'm in the city. I'm in McGee, Arkansas, in um, my mom's city, in my hometown. Haven't been here in 27 years. Lived here, but now I'm here trying to get a couple things going. So things going, but it takes time. But learning how to be a chameleon of welding has actually opened up many doors. My aunt asked me the other day, the last time I was around her anyway, she said, Lil Joe, and that's what they called me growing up, Lil Joe. She was like, Lil Joe, have you hit the lottery? I was like, I wish I hit the lottery. Nah, I ain't hit no lottery. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, that ain't what I did. What I did was I hustled, I grind. You know what I mean? I utilized welding, family, a chameleon. I sucked it in. I blend in and got that money. I blend in and got that money. You know what I mean? That's what you got to do. But until you wake up and you actually see what's going on, you can't do that. So, you know what I mean? Talking to my sister last night, it's funny because she made me think of something. We were sitting there talking, and she said, Lil Joe, you really have learned something. And I smiled. I said, what you mean? She was like, look at the way you have been doing this house. Look at what you did. I mean, look at what you're doing with this world. And look at she was just amazed by what I took the initiative to do. She was like, what makes me so proud of it is because I know you did it. It could have been terrible, terrible, but I know you did it. So, it's a big thing, man, to hear that. And I'm humbled and I'm thankful because I literally put my muscle into it, my thoughts. I network. I'm still networking. We're gonna complete it. We're gonna have a nice little metal roof on here soon, family. Hopefully, in Lord's will. After this winter, have the roof on there. Get the money up. Like I say, man, I'm still trying to get things together. So that's why I be promoting, man. Those who like the shirts and stuff, my zip hoodies. Go on Amazon. When you go on Amazon too, by the way, when you put in HogOn, put Hog, separate the on welding, and then it'll pop up. So HogOn Welding, and then my brand will pop up, and just hit the brand, and you'll see all the stuff that I got available on Amazon Prime. And also the Welding Skids. So I appreciate those who have shot with me on those prints. Salute, salute. Yeah, we're gonna have to come together, man, and do something. And I enjoy doing the video. Yes, Traflix is in there. Yeah, salute, salute, salute to the OG because he doing big things over there in Africa. So salute to the OG, JT, the bigger figure. Salute to him, salute to him. So the brother's doing great things over there. I follow him most definitely and respect what he's been putting down. Hopefully one day, you never know, I might can be over there and network, might build something. He got some land and some more things going on. They got a nice little network going on over there. So for those who are not familiar with him, go check out JT, the bigger figure. So like I say, man, it's been real, but I most definitely am humbled and humbled and thankful that welding has been able to help me cross over. So for my sister to say that, I just smile. I'm like, man, really, some things that you do and you go through, you don't really think of how what you have learned really, or how it affected you, or how someone else may view you, because you don't really look at it like that. You're like, yeah, I just did that, but to them, it's a big thing. So this morning, like I said, I just wanted to come to you live for a minute, talk to you about being a welding chameleon and about how you can also do it. How you can, I got my little partner from Rail from Mississippi. I gave him a concept that stuck to him. I told him about the ATM money. Welding is ATM money. A job, period, is ATM money. And understand that concept that you are building, always building. Especially if it's in you to be an entrepreneur, a business. Don't never get stagnated. but you have to use the door, whatever door, if it's a job or whatever, you know what I mean? So this morning, like I said, it's a little cool out here, but it feels good. I'm gonna go back into the house. Give me a second. Everybody sleep. Whew, feels good in here though. But I just wanted to say, there's absolutely nothing you can do with welding skills. That's why I say being a welding chameleon can take you to different levels and different heights. Because even this entertainment wall, my mom enjoyed watching movies. My wife enjoyed, and she never got a chance. My mom never got a chance to see certain things, and we have seen it and been in $1 million homes. And I'm like, man, I'd like to do that one day. And I figured I can build my own. So this is actually a prototype, and my goal is to sell these too. And this is just a prototype that I built. But I learned a lot from building this on how to set it up and how to do it. I'm still tweaking it. So I think that being a welder, you transfer that knowledge over. Being a welder, fabricator, because then you're dealing with numbers and measurements. You know, then you're understanding levels. You gotta understand how to do a 45, know how to plumb it. I did that pitch up there actually just for style. Just for style, it actually served no other purpose. It could have been square, but square would have made it look, it still would have looked cool, but it looks cooler, with that little cut, you know what I mean? Plus my daughter, Ty, picked it out. I was showing her some pictures and I was like, which one you think is cool? I might pick one of these. And my daughter was like, I like this. It's my oldest daughter. She said, I like that one right there. So I picked it. She might don't even know I did that, but I let her pick it. She don't even know it. And then I built it, you know what I mean? But I know later when she's seen it, I know she's like, man, that's the one I picked. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, welding can cross over, family. And being a chameleon, you can literally go to a different state. You know how each state got a different law, different rules, different colors, different themes, and you can literally touch that and become that in that state and get some money. You can go over here and do the same thing. That's why I say, being a welding chameleon, you can literally touch different places and become things. You can become your environment. So just wanted to come live a little bit, talk to you this morning. Like I said, I'm just up chilling, enjoying this cool morning. About to give me some more coffee. And just wanted to talk to you about that, man, because I really believe that we need to be encouraged on what we can do with welding. So for those who haven't visited the website, check out the website, www.HogOnWelding.com. That's www.HogOnWelding.com. Also, want to make sure I give a shout out for all those who've been supporting me, sending prayers. Hey man, I appreciate it. Just want to salute. Keep getting your hog on. Be blessed out there. Want to give a shout out to XL Flooring in Alabama. My guy always checking on me, man, seeing how I'm doing, man. Hope you blessed out there, man. Keep prospering. Y'all should check out some of his work, man. The dude cold on flooring. Like I'm an amateur, but he's the truth. You know what I'm saying? What up with it, man? What up with it? Look, my guy checking in. Like I say, I'm an amateur, but my guy, he the truth. When it comes to this, you might need to get with my guy, you know what I mean? But I love to give support, man, and shout out, man, to my homies, man, that's been real and been there. I got a lot of people been checking in from Florida. Shout out to my folks from Florida. Shout out to my folks from North Carolina, from Virginia, Tennessee, been checking in. Yeah, man, it's all love, man. All my folks from Memphis, even in my people in Arkansas that's been checking in. People, Arizona, family been checking in. People from North been checking in, Colorado. So just want to give a shout out to all those who've been showing love, man. And hey man, we're gonna keep getting a hog on. Like I say, my goal is to keep some things going while I'm here. I got a few different things I'm working on. It's been a little time consuming, you know what I mean, trying to get some things going. So but it's going. But before I leave, I want to show you this. Give me a second. I've been working on this. So y'all know I ain't got no cabinet, so we've been piecing everything together, getting our ideas of how we want, because it was messed up in here. I'm not even gonna lie. So that's why we had to tear everything out. But now I got all my measurements on how to build it. So I pretty much know my pieces. We're gonna pretty much have like a 24 here where you can put the trash can inside of the cabinet. And we're still working on this little piece here, how we're gonna do this. I got my measurements on what we got here, but we want this to be center. You know, I just got this in there temporarily because so we can wash dishes. So this got to come back out when we put the countertop on there. And then right here, I got 18. So it actually, I could have had more, but I wanted this to be center. So which gave me, less, which gave me a more 18 by 24 cabinet here. And then I'm gonna do the 18 there. And it's probably gonna have the 24 here or 18 and a 24, I don't know. But I know it's gonna be a 30. They had a couple of them that was marked. So I might have my 30 here for sure. And see how this, I don't know, I'm still working on it, but I don't need a lot. But man, this stuff is expensive. Like, you know, my wife, she had to get a certain brand, but she's like, oh, this is for a lifetime. I'm like, I ain't know how long is a lifetime. But we got this curler brand. So I like it. It's a double. And these also, I gotta get my handles, but they got it where they don't slam. So that was pretty neat. So they wasn't as more expensive, but honestly, if you getting the plain ones and you spending an extra 75 to 100 bucks on the colors, I think it's a good deal. So I went to Lowe's, actually. It's where I'm gonna be getting all of them at. So our goal is to set this up 18. And then honestly, they also got a pantry thing. So we thought about that, but it actually is not wide enough to compensate what we need without scooting everything over off center. And we kind of wanted this to be kind of in the center, you know, that. So, you know, I've been learning some stuff, doing measurements, learning how to do different things. You don't know it until you jump into it, you know what I mean? But I've been jumping into it, family, piecing everything together. But I'm actually gonna do some numbers this morning, so that way when I go back over there, I know how to finish piecing this in. But it's coming together, like I say, one stage at a time. But I got an idea. But you got to start from somewhere, you know. So all of this I've been doing just from welding. I learned it from welding, family. I can't make it up. I went from a welder to a carpenter to doing renovation to plumbing to install or whatever, you know what I mean? And all of this is based on me being a chameleon welder. So don't get caught up in someone telling you what you can't do. Just do it, you know, just do it. And I really think that's going to, being hands-on, going to also open up your mind too, because you're going to be like, man, I never imagined I could do that. You know what I mean? I say that to myself all the time. I'm like, man, I'm colder than what I thought I was. You know how it be. But anyways, fam, I just wanted to check in for a minute. Like I say, give y'all some updates. I'm proud to have the sink in. Still got some things to give, but you know, it's coming. I think it's a process. So, you know, we could have bought everything in here at one time, but then we had different plumbing issues, and we didn't want to have it in and have the plumbing issues. You know how I go. But we got it together now, so you know, I'm proud. I'm happy. You know, like I said, we still got some more things to do, but it's coming. So when it's all said and done, it's gonna be nice, proper, laid out, and we'll be able to kill 7 birds in one stone. But just wanted to say, welding, 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 welding has allowed me to do everything I have done up to this point in my life. After I did 10 years in prison from the age of 15 to 26 years old, it was welding that has took me up to this point. They told me I wasn't gonna make it to be 18, and I'm 41 years old now, family. All the stuff I'm doing, I'm in here building my mama's house up, and she died, still taking care of her baby boy. because she died and left this, and we're building and we're going to try to keep it up so we can keep it passed down. The goal is I'm utilizing what I learned. Welding. It can cross over to any field. That's why it's important, family. That's why it's important. So just wanted to say that, man. Y'all be blessed. Keep prospering. Keep getting your hog on with me. Black Feniks.